Fisher.
Good day and welcome to Panorama, broadcasting from NTA Maiduguri Network Center. Today we're focusing on the impact of the human papillomavirus HPV vaccine in the global fight against cervical cancer. This vaccine, according to experts, serves as a preventive measure against certain strains of the HPV virus, which is a known cause for cervical cancer and related diseases. Join us as we explore how this vaccine offers women worldwide a proactive shield against one of the most prevalent and devastating diseases affecting their health and well-being. I am Abubakar Musa. Thank you for joining us. After showing themselves as a strong force for development, it is now time for women to take their stake in the emergence of a new Nigeria fodder by properly training the future generations. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this at a ceremony organized to celebrate mothers in the country as part of activities marking the first year of President Bola Tinubu in office. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
They have a cause to cheer, with their voice louder and their aspirations receiving better attention in the last 1 year. And under a perfect ambience created by a colorful performance from one of Nigeria's greats, Onyeka Onwenu, they reveled in the knowledge that their sacrifices and contributions as women and mothers of the nation have come into reckoning. As the mother of the nation, the spotlight was on Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu and her interventions to champion the cause of women in the country. This she ever shared with her guests, whose sacrifices, she noted, often go unannounced or uncelebrated.
We are leaders, innovators, and trailblazers, excelling in every field and breaking barriers, and even in politics. The achievements of our women in all sectors of the economy is highly commendable.
Reflecting on the theme of the day, looking ahead, the First Lady says Nigeria is at the threshold of our prosperity and called on mothers to shape that desired future by giving proper training to their children.
With what we have seen in society today, if we do not step in to make the necessary amends, our children are at risk of losing their identity. Tell them the way it is. We don't accept nakedness in our culture. That is not beautiful.
For the Nigerian project to succeed, the current administration needs all the support it can get, starting from women.
No matter what, let's keep our differences aside for the benefit of all. But united, we would uplift ourselves as women.
Our First Lady has brought Nigeria women out. Let us come out and rally around her.
The bold step that Mr. President has taken in the last 1 year are very essential.
The anniversary cake, the first of many, was cut to mark the day. In the State House, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Little bit of security matters now. The Nigerian Air Force, beyond being a stabilizing force in the nation's quest for order, has also made significant mark on the international scene in pursuit of regional and sub-regional peace and security. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this at the 60th anniversary ceremonial parade and aerial display held at the Nigerian Air Force Base, Kaduna. Here is State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila with more on that.
Right now, Scotland is conducting a 70-degree flag, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, and demonstrate the pride of mastery of the airplane.
It It was an atmosphere filled with the aerial displays to demonstrate the ability of transforming the Nigerian Air Force into an agile and resilient force that effectively meets the air power demands of national security in all operational environments.
This achievement fills us with a sense of pride and optimism in our projections of our capabilities and belief in our contribution to protecting lives and property through the employment of air power.
And the federal government is making investments in procuring state-of-the-art multi-role combat aircraft and attack helicopters that will significantly enhance capabilities of the air power.
Our response to these changes should not be pure security compromises, but rather a commitment to collaboration and the development of partnerships with friends and allies in the sub-region and beyond to collectively address our shared threats.
Nigerian Air Force at 60 with the theme Leveraging Strategic Partnership in Aerospace Innovations for Regional Security brought together airmen across the globe. From the NAF base in Kaduna, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Calm has returned as residents are seen going about their daily activities despite controversies surrounding traditional institutions in the state. Elizabeth Yila Lamido, who has been monitoring developments, reports that security agencies and leaders are urging all parties involved to tour the path of peaceful and lawful resolutions on the issue.
The city of Kano remains calm, with residents going about their normal activities. This tranquility is a contrast to the controversy concerning the traditional institution in the state. It all started with the State House of Assembly amending the Emirates Act, dissolving all the 5 emirates and reverting to a single emirate. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf signed the bill into law and directed that all the removed 5 emirs should within 48 hours return government facilities in their possession. He also announced the reinstatement of Muhammad Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano. Before this event, a high court has restrained Kano government from dissolving the emirates. The 15th Emir, Aminu Ado Bayero, returned to Kano early Saturday morning and proceeded to the Nasarawa Emir's guest house. Consequently, Governor Yusuf ordered the arrest of the Emir. The Commissioner of Police, however, issues a statement saying they are obeying the court ruling stopping the removal of the Emirs.
The police command is expressly obeying the court order with suit number FHC/KN/CS/182/2024 dated 23rd May 2024, issued by the Federal High Court sitting in Kano alongside all law enforcement agents in the state.
Despite all this, Kano residents remain calm and seem unconcerned with what is going on.
It is very important that we agree amongst ourselves that this unnecessary tension cannot create the best life for the people of Kano who are peace-loving. You don't force the decision. Win public to your side of the decision.
There are, however, high security presence as security agents move to forestall any breakdown of law and order in the state. In Kano, Elizabeth Wheeler, NTA News.
This concerning the traditional institutions in Kano, the Northern Traditional Ruling Council, under the chairmanship of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, notes with concern the situation in Kano as it affects the revered institution. The statement calls for restraint on the path of the disputants in the interest of peace and stability, as the matter has reportedly gone to court and is therefore sub judice. Panorama on the Nigerian Television Authority. Let us at this point take a break. More reports for you shortly. If you're just joining us, this is Panorama on the Nigerian Television Authority. Let's move on now. Ahead of the kickoff campaign for the human papillomavirus HPV vaccine, sending out the right information through awareness creation has been identified as key to achieving success. To this end, UNICEF, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, and its counterpart at the state level, is collaborating with media practitioners to boost awareness. Tina Toro has more on that.
Due to the prevalence of cervical cancer caused by the human papillomavirus, there is need for urgent action with the vaccine as key factor expected to play a pivotal role in changing the narratives, especially as a preventive measure. With vaccination campaign for the human papillomavirus expected to take off on the 27th of May, UNICEF as well as state and federal primary healthcare development agency are partnering with women media professionals to ensure that HPV campaign and vaccination drive targeting girls aged 9 to 14 reach every corner of the state.
We are going to have it from next year, 9 years only. Girls are 10 years, we have it our opportunity to get their vaccine, the head vaccine. We are targeting this age cohort of 9 to 14 as campaign from now to December 2024. From 1st January 2025, we only vaccinate 9-year-old girls.
They will be visiting from school to school, vaccinating children aged 9 to 14 years.
During the session, women journalists were tasked on informing the public about the significance of the vaccine and shedding light on its safety and efficacy in preventing cervical cancer and other HPV-related diseases. All is now set for the HPV vaccination campaign, targeting over 600,000 girls between the age of 9 and 14 in Borno State. In Maiduguri, Tina Toro, NTA News.
Cervical cancer is said to be responsible for about 80,000 deaths annually among women. Hence, the adoption of the HPV vaccine as a preventive measure targeting girls between the age of 9 and 14. Now, with me in the studio to speak more on cervical cancer prevalence and the human papillomavirus vaccine is Dr. Anna Peter, a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, as well as president of the Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Borno State Chapter. Dr. Anna, it's so interesting to have you on Panorama at this point in time.
Thank you very much for having me here.
All right. Now, let's begin by knowing what is this human papillomavirus HPV and how endemic is it in our communities?
Okay. Thank you very much for this question. The human papillomavirus, like the name implies, is a virus that has several strains, about 100,000, more than 100,000 strains of this virus is known. But we have the most high-risk virus strains that cause cancer of the mouth of the womb, which is the cervix. It causes cervical cancer and other related human papilloma virus diseases like the warts we know. But the one that we're concerned about now is the cervical cancer. And now the human papilloma virus, what it does is that it attaches to the mouth of the womb, which is the cervix, and causes some changes after taking a very long time. And these changes will now cause cancer of the cervix. But we're so lucky that this cervical cancer is one of the cancer that has a causative factor, which is the human papilloma virus. It is sexually transmitted, or any sexual contact between partners can cause someone to be affected. So you said, how endemic is it? It's about, for most women, like for the population, we have 3.5% of our population will be affected with the virus at one point in time in their lifetime. But one thing with the virus is that because of your immune system, about several others, a lot of women and a lot of people will clear the virus. But there's a certain percentage that will not clear. And then it sticks and then causes changes at the mouth of the womb, which is the cervix, and thereby causing changes that will result in cervical cancer.
All right. Now, Dr. Anna, tell us the efficacy of the HPV vaccine towards preventing cervical cancer and other related diseases.
Yeah, the good news about the vaccine is that from research, it shows that for people that receive the vaccine, almost 100% efficacy, meaning that when they get this vaccine early, it helps to boost their immune system. And we know that prevention is better than cure. And from antecedents, we know that vaccines are taken before the infection. And so thereby, we know that the human papilloma virus vaccine is very efficacious and will prevent our girls from having cervical cancer.
Oh, okay, now, doctor, what are the benefits of getting vaccinated against HPV at a young age of 9 to 14?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of questions that people are wondering, and it has been causing so many controversies. Why 9 to 14? The reason is that we believe that 9 to 14, like I told you earlier on, is sexually transmitted. And we need to give them this vaccine before they are exposed to the virus. So our belief is that between this 9 to 14, most of them will not be sexually exposed. That is our belief, but we know that some will. But we know that by 9 to 14, a lot of our girls are not yet sexually active. And thereby, by giving them this vaccine early, we are preventing and protecting them from having the virus when they become sexually active. Ideally, it's not only for girls. In other countries, they give both girls and boys at an early age. But because of it's very expensive. And right now, I think the grant gotten can only cover for the girls. You can also cover for women that are above 14 years old. But like I said, it's better we catch them young, those that are not sexually active. For others that are sexually active, there are other means. They can always go for screening, and then as a means of preventing cervical cancer. I
really like the aspect where you say prevention is better than cure.
Yes,
we will not stop emphasizing on that, so to say.
Yes.
Now, issues of vaccination many times generate misconceptions and misgivings. How do you allay such with respect to this HPV vaccine, particularly fertility concerning, concerns about ladies that undergo the vaccination?
Okay, like I want to say that this human papilloma virus vaccine is not just coming to Nigeria now. It has been around in Lagos and Abuja, and very expensive. People have given their daughters. I, for one, have given my daughters. So we took it at an expensive, it was difficult, it was expensive, and even difficult to come by. So in the rate of fertility, we know that
very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Now?
Yes,
Okay.
it is expensive.
Okay, go ahead.
So the government has done a lot of work to make it available at no cost at all, which is very, very commendable, and we are very excited about it. Now, for fertility issues, it's not only with the human papilloma vaccine. Every other vaccine that came out, everyone is concerned. When polio came, fertility. When corona came, fertility. But we can see that as parents, our children, and we took vaccines, and we are now using contraceptives not to give birth again. And we see that our children they are getting married, and it has nothing to do with contraception. I'm a gynecologist, and I know very well. So it has nothing to do to preventing people from conceiving. It focuses on the virus, and it prevents our girls from having the most high-risk virus, which is 16 and 18, which is captured in the vaccine, and other strains of the virus, and it's preventive against cervical cancer.
All right, that's actually great to hear. Now, Dr. Anna, having proven the efficacy of the vaccine, what call do you have for parents and communities to support the successful rollout of the HPV campaign, Flagging of Tomorrow in Borno State, particularly for girls between the age of 9 and 14 age group?
Yes, I'm calling on parents, especially mothers, to key into these very important and special programs, because, like I said earlier on, prevention is better than cure. And I work in the hospital, and we are seeing that in a country like this country, Nigeria, our data is showing that in a year, we have over 12,000 women getting cervical cancer. And over 8,000 of the women that have cervical cancer die. We know that when a woman begins to have symptoms, or she begins to present with symptoms of cervical cancer, she's usually at the advanced stage, and usually nothing really can be done about it. So we're calling on women, we're calling on parents to allow their children between 9 and 14. Because after this period, we're just doing a mop-up exercise now to capture a lot of girls between 9 and 14. After now, it's going to be only 9 years. And subsequently, those that are above that were not captured will have to pay to get this, which is very expensive.
We're very sorry. We just have to leave it here for now.
Yes,
Dr.
please.
Anna Peter, I wish we could go on and on because
Yes.
we have a lot of questions for you.
Yes.
But unfortunately, time will not allow us to do that.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we appreciate you so much for your contributions to Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
That was actually a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, as well as president of the Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Borno State Chapter, Dr. Anna Peter. Now, 10,000 refugees from Minawawo camp in Marwa, Cameroon, are scheduled to return to Bama and Goza, just as governor of the Far North region, Mujinyawa Bakari, commended Nigerian government for the efforts. The effort was led by a technical working group on the repatriation of refugees from Cameroon, comprising federal and state governments delegations. Pauline Kujevana completes the story.
Since his assumption in office in 2019, Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has made the well-being of his people displaced by the Boko Haram insurgency to neighboring countries of Cameroon, Chad and Niger a top priority. In 2021, the first group of refugees from Bama local government area was repatriated under the leadership of Deputy Governor Umar Usman Katafur, while those from Goza chose to remain until now that arrangements are being made by the technical work group to convey them. The technical work group convened in Morwa, Far North Cameroon, had federal government delegation led by Mordecai Titus and Air Vice Marshal Shoyi Kotu, along with the Borno State government delegation led by its subcommittee chairman, Lawan Abawa Kilbe, and Dr. Mohamed Barkindo Saidu, who engaged in discussions in several key meetings. They first met with the governor of the Far North region, Mijinyawa Bakari, to discuss the roles of their respective governments in the repatriation process, where the governor commended Nigerian government's effort in the well-being of its displaced citizens. They further convened with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR Cameroon, to reaffirm commitment outlined in the tripartite agreement, assuring federal government's commitment to convey its citizens safe and in dignified manner.
More than 10,000 refugees are combined and back to their area. We are preparing the next repatriation.
On behalf of the federal government of Nigeria, is to extend a very warm appreciation.
We will take the swift step to ensure that they are returned.
The delegation visited the Mokolo camp to assess their needs and identify refugees marked for the first, second, and third repatriation. They also inspected a farm designated by the Cameroon government to help alleviate recent food shortages among the refugees. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Away from that now to tell you that Golden Eaglets of Nigeria will miss out this year on the 17th Africa Cup of Nations following defeat by Cote d'Ivoire in Wafu Championship. Also, Nigerian Asisat Oshola becomes the first African to win 3 UEFA Champions League. For more on this and other sports stories, let's now join Suleiman Musa on Sports Update.